from the previous class that
No, sir.
whatever the introductory portions we gave? No. So here we'll start. This as it is photosynthesis. hmm, this require several things. That is the for the photosynthesis, raw materials are there. Is it raw materials? Raw materials mainly, that is carbon dioxide and water. Is it? And these are the two raw materials that from which the carbohydrate, the food is produced. Is it? And along with this, what is other things required? That is the requirements are chlorophyll and light energy. Is it? These are the four requirement of the photosynthesis. Water, plenty of water that is available. Plant absorb it from the soil, mostly those terrestrial plant, and carbon dioxide that is present in the atmosphere and from the air, where it is 0.03% carbon dioxide is there, and that carbon dioxide is enough to support the entire process of photosynthesis that is carried out by the green plant and other some bacteria, autotrophic photosynthetic bacteria. Okay, this chlorophyll, this one is a photosynthetic pigment. Photosynthetic pigment. These pigments are actually the substance of which can absorb the light energy. These pigments are chemical compounds that which can absorb light energy. This the photosynthetic pigments, it is not only chlorophyll. There are other types of pigments are there. Among the main pigment is, of course, it is chlorophyll. Other pigments are carotenoid. Carotenoid, this is actually, this carotenoid is carotene and xanthophyll. Carotene and xanthophyll. This carotenoid together. But see, in your book, it is written, they have written carotenoids and xanthophyll. But carotenoid means carotene and xanthophyll. Anyway, you have to follow this book. So chlorophyll, carotenoid, and the xanthophyll is the photosynthetic pigment. Among the chlorophyll, there are different types of chlorophylls are there. Chlorophyll A, B, C, D, E. Okay, but in the higher plant, that is in angiosperms, particularly it is the chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B that take part in the photosynthesis. This chlorophyll A is universal pigment, universal photosynthetic pigment. and the chlorophyll, other chlorophyll, that is B, C, D, E, these are distributed in different group of plants. Of course, in higher plant, chlorophyll B is there along with chlorophyll A, and also chlorophyll AB is also present in uh, in case of algae, and that algae is green algae. Okay, green algae, that is chlorophyce. So in the green algae, the photosynthesis is similar to the photosynthesis of higher plant due to this photosynthetic pigment composition. Okay, and that is why for many photosynthetic experiment, the green algae has been used. This green algae has been used, or the chlorophycian members have been used for the photosynthetic experiment because they also have chlorophyll A and B like the higher plants. Okay, as I told, the chlorophyll A is the main pigment, so it is the principal pigment which carry out the photosynthesis, photochemical reaction of photosynthesis. The other pigment, that is chlorophyll B, carotenoid, and xanthophyll. These pigments are called the accessory accessory pigment. Okay, so principal pigment is chlorophyll A, and accessory pigments are chlorophyll B, carotenoids, and xanthophyll. This this accessory pigment, okay, they can they can accept, absorb light energy at a different wavelength. This pigment absorb light energy at different wavelength, and so in this way they widen the field of absorption of the light energy and increase efficiency of photosynthesis. And also this accessory pigment protect protect chlorophyll from photochemical oxidation. Okay, and by this photochemical oxidation, because the strong light, this can destroy the chlorophyll A molecule. Okay, uh, Rishabh, photochemical. Have you got? Hello. I think there was some noise from. Please don't do that. Okay. Anyway, so this accessory pigment, they are helpful in absorbing light energy at a different wavelength. Okay, and also protect the chlorophyll molecule from photochemical that oxidation damage. Okay, so this way these are very helpful, uh, this accessory pigments. And now this chlorophyll, this photosynthetic pigment absorb light energy at a different wavelength. No, they absorb, but maximum absorption is in the red and blue region of a spectrum. So different uh, at different wavelength, rate of absorption of light energy is different. And this one, that the graph or the curve that exhibit, that shows that the rate of absorption of light energy at different wavelength is known as absorption spectrum. Okay, so this is maximum at the red and blue. Similarly, the rate of photosynthesis means which light is more effective in the in carrying out photosynthesis, that also varies in different wavelength. Different rate of photosynthesis is there, and the rate of photosynthesis says at different wavelength, okay, is called action spectrum. This is the curve showing rate of photosynthesis at different wavelength. This is action spectrum. You can see the action spectrum from here. I will show you. Mm, from the directly from the book. I will show you the absorption spectrum and action spectrum. Okay, this is, you can see here this graphs of, you can see that the absorption of light by chloroplast pigment. Okay, here you can see that the one blue line, this blue line is for the chlorophyll A, and this green line is for chlorophyll B, and this one yellow line, this is showing the carotenoids, that is absorption by the carotenoids. And this can you see these white lines? No, there are, this is showing that the wavelength on this, in the x-axis, that is the horizontal line, that this one is x-axis. X-axis is showing the wavelength of light in nanometer. Okay, so 400, 500, 600, 700. Maximum photosynthesis takes place in between these two, 400 to 700. And that's why this one is known as the uh, photosynthetically active radiation. PAR, photosynthetically active radiation. This is the light wavelength. So here you can see where the maximum absorption is taking place. Maximum absorption is taking place in between 400 and 500 wavelength. Say chlorophyll B is showing the maximum absorption. Chlorophyll A has also here more absorption, but it is less than chlorophyll B. And another peak we get in the red region in between 600 and 700 here, that chlorophyll A is more, chlorophyll A has more absorption, and chlorophyll B has less absorption. But in both the cases, that absorption peaks we find in blue and the red region. So, and this one is showing this here one graph that is showing the rate of photosynthesis. This is in the blue region, it is high. Again in the red region, it is high. So here, this third graph, you can see that the black line showing the rate of photosynthesis and blue line rate of absorption by chlorophyll A molecule. Okay, so rate of absorption is high at blue and at red. So here also we can see that rate of photosynthesis also high in the blue and red region. So this is the absorption spectrum and the action spectrum. Now this in the previous class I told that this photosynthetic pigment, okay, photosynthetic pigments are located in the thylakoid membrane. Thylakoid membrane, and this photosynthetic pigment, the one pigment alone cannot carry out the actual reaction of the photosynthesis. So there are many molecules of photosynthetic pigments unite together. They, in a group, they can make a functional unit. Okay. they are grouped into a functional unit. And this functional unit, sometimes we call, that is quantazome. About 200 to 250 photosynthetic pigments are there in a functional unit. The molecules, and this pigment, they forms, also we can say them, a pigment system. In each of the pigment system there is a center point. Okay, there is a center point, and around this there are other pigment. These are pigment molecule: chlorophyll A, B, that carotenoid, xanthophyll, all different pigments are there. These are these are actually called the antenna molecule. And that center point, this one is known as a reaction center. This reaction center is made of a special chlorophyll A molecule. Okay, this reaction center is made of a special chlorophyll A molecule, and this surrounding this reaction center there are antenna molecule. These are all accessory pigments. These together, that this complex, this is also known as light harvesting complex. Complex, or LHS, LHC. Light harvesting complex. This chlorophyll A molecule of the reaction center, these are of two different types, and accordingly this light harvesting complex or the pigment system are also two types. So there is pigment system 1 and pigment system 2. So in brief, in short, we can write PS1 and PS2. In the pigment system 1, this reaction center, this chlorophyll molecule is, it is a special chlorophyll molecule, that is P700. Means here the chlorophyll molecule absorb light energy, maximum absorption at 700 Nm, that is absorb light energy at 700 nm, maximum absorption at 700. So this one is written as P700, and this in the PS2, this same is, it is P680, 680 nm. So it absorbs light energy at 680 nm, maximum absorption. This is absorption maxima. Okay, so there are two pigment system. One is pigment system 1, pigment system 2. So you can draw the pigment system 1 if it is PS1 or it is P700, you can write, and PS2 is P680. This is the that reaction center and its antenna molecule. This antenna molecule, what is their function? Antenna molecule, they absorb light energy. Say if the light energy is falling on it from different side, and this light energy is absorbed by this pigment, and it is ultimately passed to the reaction center, that is chlorophyll A molecule, and this reaction center carry out the photochemical reaction of the photosynthesis. This pigment system, actually they are attached to some electron carrier. Both the pigments, this light harvesting complexes, they are linked to some electron carrier molecule. These electron carrier molecules are, some of them are the called the plastoquinone is there, plastocyanin is there, and the very important one is the cytochrome. Okay, cytochromes, among the cytochromes, cytochrome F is there, cytochrome B6 is there. Okay, so they form a electron, this pigment system with electron carrier. The this light harvesting or the pigment system 1 and pigment system 2, when they absorb light energy, this reaction center, they release electron. Okay, they release electron, and this electron moves with very high energy, and this electron pass through different electron carriers, and ultimately it moves to the some acceptor molecule. Okay, so there is a electron transport chain. and accordingly we have there are in the light reaction we have this non-cyclic and cyclic photophosphorylation. Here, let us see this. I will show you. See here, this one is showing, this diagram is showing that there is a non-cyclic photophosphorylation. This here the light falls on the pigment system 2. When the light fall on the pigment system 2, this get excited and it eject electron. The electron is accepted by some primary electron acceptor. Okay, here it is written that the primary electron acceptor. From this primary electron acceptor, the electron move to PQ. PQ is plastoquinone. Okay, PQ is abbreviation for plastoquinone. From the plastoquinone, the electron moves to cytochrome complex. This cytochrome complex contain cytochrome F and cytochrome B6. Okay, this one form the cytochrome complex, and when it moves through this, it releases a lot of energy. And this energy is utilized for the synthesis of ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate. This one should be like this. Okay, ATP is synthesized. After that, from this cytochrome complex, the electron move to plastocyanin. Okay, and from the plastocyanin, ultimately the electron is accepted by the pigment system 1. This one is, this is PS1 and this one is PS2. Okay, this pigment system 1 can accept electron if it is facing deficit of electron, then only. So what happened here also, that this system, it absorbs light energy and then it releases electron. So this chlorophyll molecule is, deficient of electron. So electron deficit is there, so it can accept electron from plastocyanin, which has actually come from the PS system 2. Then here also this ejected electron is accepted by some primary acceptor, and from there it is transported to FD. FD is the ferredoxin. FD is ferredoxin. Okay. So from the ferredoxin it moves to NADP. So electron is moving from this primary acceptor through the ferredoxin to ultimately to the NADP, and here when it accepts the two electron, it can combine with hydrogen ion. That is, it can combine with hydrogen ion, a proton, and then when it accepts electron and the hydrogen ion, then it produce NADP. So NADP is produced and ATP molecule is produced. Here the electron moving from here, passing from here, it is going to the PS1 and ultimately to NADP. So not coming back. So this is known as non-cyclic photophosphorylation. I think you should know what is this photophosphorylation. This synthesis of ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate is called the phosphorylation. Okay, this process is called phosphorylation, and here the ATP has been synthesized, so this is a phosphorylation process. But here it is again, for this process of ATP synthesis, energy is required. Is it? This energy is coming from light. So getting the energy from the light, phosphorylation process takes place. So this phosphorylation is known as photophosphorylation. Okay, it is called photophosphorylation. Now, see one thing, that repeatedly this pigment system 2 P680, it is releasing electron. But how long it can release electron? It cannot release electron if it is not getting electron from somewhere. So this chlorophyll A molecule of the pigment system 2, it get electron from water. Okay, it get electron from water, and here actually what happened, water is split into electron, proton, and also give oxygen. Water give rise to hydrogen ion, this is proton. It give release electron also, and it produce oxygen. Say if it is two molecule of water will produce 4 hydrogen ion, 4 electron, and ultimately it will give O2. One molecule of oxygen will be produced. So this is known as photolysis of water. Okay, photolysis of water, like the electrolysis of water, water is splitted. So here the lysis, water is splitting of water takes place with the energy from the light. So it is called photolysis of water. So photolysis, so here in the light reaction of the photosynthesis, two important things, or we can divide into two steps. One is the photolysis of water, and number two is production of assimilatory power. Okay, what is this assimilatory power? Is the NADP, NADPH2 plus ATP. Say this one here, in this ATP is produced, and at the end NADPH2 is produced. All right. So these are the assimilatory power, because this will be utilized for the assimilation of carbon dioxide. This NADPH2 and ATP will be utilized in the dark reaction for the reduction of carbon dioxide into carbohydrate. And here, so electron is moving from, originating from water, coming to the pigment system 2. From here, the electron is through different electron carrier like plastoquinone, cytochrome complex, plastocyanin. It reach to the reaction center of pigment system 1. From there, again the electron moves through the primary acceptor to ferredoxin, ferredoxin to NADP, and NADP, finally it is converted into NADPH2. Okay, so the end product of this light reaction is that, end product is this NADPH2 plus NADPH2 ATP, and also we get oxygen by the photolysis of water. So these are the three things that is the product of light reaction of photosynthesis. Here, say in this process, what happened? There is no use of carbon dioxide. We know that in photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is utilized, but in this process, there is no use of carbon dioxide. Only this is the first process, and here it is called, we call it photochemical reaction. Photochemical process, or the photochemical reaction, light dependent process, and that's why it is the light reaction. And here light is very, very important. See, the process of photosynthesis is very expensive one. that is a lot of ATP energy is required, and this non-cyclic photophosphorylation, whatever the ATP it produces, that ATP is not sufficient for supporting the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so the photosynthesis in the light reaction, they have another system for the synthesis of ATP, and that is called the cyclic photophosphorylation. This one, this is this is cyclic photophosphorylation. Here you can see here only the P700 is there. Is it? Here P700 means it is the pigment system 1. So in the cyclic, this is cyclic photophosphorylation. In the cyclic photophosphorylation, only PS1 is involved. And for that, this PS1 is alone located in the stroma thylakoid. Here, this pigment system, the light harvesting complex, it absorbs light energy, that is the photon light energy it absorbs, and after absorbing light energy, it release electron. Then it is accepted by some primary acceptor. Sometime it is also known as FRS. FRS. Actually, it is ferredoxin reducing substance. Okay, because this will pass the electron to the ferredoxin. So from the primary acceptor, the electron move to the ferredoxin. From the ferredoxin, it moves to plastoquinone. Okay, when it moves to plastoquinone, there is a big jump and a release of energy, and this energy here is coupled with the production of ATP when the electron is moving from ferredoxin to plastoquinone. And after that, from the plastoquinone, electron moves to the cytochrome complex, cytochrome B6 and F. Here also, this release energy and ATP is produced. From the cytochrome complex, it is to the plastocyanin to again back to the reaction center of pigment system 1. Okay, it come back to reaction system of pigment system 1. So here what is happening, the electrons originate from the PS1 and through different electron carrier, again it come back to the PS1. Okay, so the electron is moving in a circular path, is it? So this one is known as cyclic photophosphorylation, and in this only ATP is produced. In the cyclic photophosphorylation, only PS1 is involved, only ATP is produced, there is no production of NADPH2, and also there is no photolysis of water. Photolysis of water is linked to the PS2 and in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So this one, the ATP production where the PS1 alone is involved is known as cyclic photophosphorylation. So this produces the additional ATP for supporting the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so light in the light reaction, the question sometimes comes, that is, say, what is the light reaction? What is the end product of light reaction? End product. Then the what is light harvesting complexes? Then what are the different types of pigment system? What are the chlorophyll molecule? What is the reaction center and antenna molecule? This question, what is photolysis of water? This is also very important. Photolysis of water. Then important question is, that is, what is photophosphorylation? What is photophosphorylation? Then within this again is cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Of course, I will give you the notes for this. Okay, you will get the notes by the question answer type, or I will write in brief. Okay, so do you have anything to ask? Our time it is. You have next class. Hello?
No, sir.
No.
No,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Okay, then. Good night.
Good night, sir.